Hicks. We saw her earlier in the 4x8, an excellent performance for the Tigers of Macon County. In lane 4, the favorite we mentioned, Barbara Ball. Short and speedy. She's a fantastic athlete for the Mustangs of Lipscomb Academy. In lane 5, a Columbia Academy Bulldog, Kaylee Schuyler. In lane 6 from CPA, Jessica Clark. She was seated second in the 3200, so a multi-talented athlete. In lane 7 from Signal Mountain, there they are again, Mallory Young. She is also in the 3200. And in lane 8, as we get started, from Trinity Christian is Haley Golden. A clean start, and they're off. And the third running of the mile, as this event continues to be one of the more exciting ones we've seen.
It has, and this field is a lot smaller, so it's going to be a lot of strategy involved in this as well. And when you're running with 16 girls, and now we're running, I guess it's what, 8 girls in the field this time. It's still some strategy involved in this because you want to start off fast. Those two middle laps are really important and really key to this race. And obviously those last 50 meters where you have to hold your composure and your technique to finish strong.
Madison Melchiona from Greenville off to the lead on this first lap. Barbara Ball from Lipscomb holding her position right there in second place as they round the 200 turn and come around for the conclusion of the first lap. So Barbara Ball last year ran a 5:16 to win the state championship. Her nearest competitor was 5:23. She won by 7 seconds. That's hard to do.
She's impressive. I remember her from last year, not only from her name but for her talent. I mean, she's been impressive over the last couple of years, and she's going to be a force in this particular race.
She was also the 3,200-meter champion yesterday. How hard do you think it is to run a race that hard and then come back the next day and have to run a 1,600?
You know what? You gotta look at it. These girls are 15, 16, 17 years old. So I mean, you have the youth on your side. I mean, obviously it's tough when you have to run that distance, but I mean these girls are they condition their body, and plus I mean they're young enough to be able to replenish themselves and come out and be good as new the next day.
Madison Melchiona continues to lead, but followed closely behind by Barbara Ball as those two have gotten off to start their own little pack here. Melchiona, we mentioned, she is seated first in the 800 meters, which will be contested later on tonight. Greenville High School over the years has produced some very talented athletes, and Melchiona no exception there. Some other top runners so far: Katie Hicks from Macon County right now in 4th. She was on Macon County's 4x800 team this year and also last. As now we are halfway through, and once again the time going to be about 2:35 or so. So they're on pace for a 5:10.
Right.
Ball's qualifying time of 5:11, so that may be about right.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, there's a lot of jostling going on in the first two positions, but I still think the next bunch is going to have something to say about the end of the race.
Melchiona and Ball leading the way now by about 10 to 15 meters as the last runners are now crossing the line halfway through. You mentioned those middle laps. Lap 3, very important, as that's when you start to really thinking about making that final move, and that's what we've seen in the last two races is then you really start to see who's contending.
Yeah, that's when your body starts telling you, okay, let's exert ourselves right now, or just kind of hold back and wait for the end. That's when you're having that battle with your mind on what you want to do at this particular point in the race.
Melchiona and Ball leading the way just as they have wire to wire. It is very tough to go wire to wire and win the mile, but that's what Melchiona will try to do, and Ball right behind her. One of those two runners will likely be your champion. Who will it be? We'll know in about 450 meters as these two are almost across the line for the final next to last time. And you see right there Melchiona looking over her shoulder just a little bit. Have to be worried with an athlete like Ball right behind you.
No doubt. It's going to be a great finish. These two girls are going to go out and leave it all out on the track on this particular race. It's going to be a great finish.
Signal Mountain with Mallory Young in the race as well. Congratulations once again to that school who had never qualified a single student athlete to the state track championship in their short history as a school, and they have a bunch in there this year, 7 of them. But these two runners here are from Greenville and Lipscomb, and now Lipscomb's runner Barbara Ball makes her move with about 250 meters left. And already, Joey, look at this. She's getting some separation.
Yeah, she's good as advertised. We saw this last year, and you can tell what type of athlete she is by this performance right now. She turned it on at that 200-meter mark that we talked about in the previous races, and she's relaxed right now. She's in her groove, and she's leaving it all out on the track, and she's gonna be a state champion.
Barbara Ball gets the ball rolling in the final half of the final lap. She is going to win by a lot. Barbara Ball from Lipscomb, your state champion for the second consecutive year. As she cruises past the finish line, it looked like she had a lot left in her tank when she finished. She was just that dominant. Madison Melchiona will take second. It's going to be Katie Hicks from Macon County in third. An outstanding race, though, for Ball, and amazing how she was able to get that kind of separation. She knew what she was doing the entire time.
She's a good talent. I mean, she knows she's a very confident runner. And when you have that confidence, you can do some amazing things in this particular race.
Ball, a key component of a David Lipscomb team that looks to win a state championship. They've never won one in their history, but they will be a contender this year, as that will almost conclude the 1600. Still a couple runners on the track.